So the next plan is to cut about 3/4 to an inch, doesn't matter, off this angle iron. And then I'm going to put it down here. And this is where my adjustment's going to be. So I'm using a diamond cutoff wheel. You really want to have good eye protection and everything with these because they can fracture. Now I'm just going to take this over to my grinder, clean it up a little bit, and then I'm going to punch a 1/4 inch hole through there. Just wanted to clean up the edges a little bit. And, I'm going to punch a hole through there with my drill press. Come back and add this to the thing. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this carriage bolt to that carriage bolt to make a hinge. I'll cut off the excess here and well, you'll see how it goes. I just don't have a long enough bolt to go through the eyelet and then to bend it. Usually I would heat it up and bend it, but I don't have a bolt long enough. I don't have any all thread. So let's get started on that. See if I can tweak this a little bit without breaking it. Yes, I can. Now if you're thinking, oh no, well, I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to cut this off right at the head. So I have adjustment here. And this is just a hinge. This is still pretty hot. That's just a hinge. This is the adjustment. I added this little block on here. I thought I pushed record, I guess I forgot to, or missed or something. Anyways, I needed height where adjuster goes through. I needed about 1 inch of height, so I just cut off a piece of square tubing and welded it right to the angle iron to give it a little bit of a lift. So the little toilet looking thing that I just made, square tubing on that angle iron, rounded it off, and now it kind of looks like a toilet. It's going to go right here, and we'll weld that onto the bottom plate, the long plate. And we want it just this side of center. Center line is kind of hard to see. Just inside the edge. Okay, so on this, you want to make sure this piece isn't angled. You want to make sure it is flat to this. square with that. And this is up here, that's a direct line. Just totally square to it. Okay, so I don't pretend to be the best welder, but I am starting to figure the stick welder out a little bit. Or this wire feed welder out. I'm a stick welder. Okay, so my mission is to weld that nut into this plate. Just the nut, not the bar. If I weld anything else on there, this isn't going to work, and that won't be good. Houston, we have a problem. I welded the toilet on backwards. I can't get the angle. Oh, it's still hot. Come on, get in there. So my plan is to take another carriage bolt, cut this one off here, weld that on there to extend this. It won't ever need to come back real far. Just thought I had some more carriage bolts. So I got this extended. So now I can use the inside nut for an adjustment, how far out the angle will be. And then the outside nut, which I'm going to use a wing nut, will lock it down. Then I welded two nuts down here, these 5/16 nuts on the corner. Added these. I'm going to take these out. Put another nut here, and I'm going to use a little bit of fuel line to kind of make these padded. Just slide fuel line on them, and then have another nut down there so I can lock them in for handles. Now you might be wondering why this is so tall. This will never pass in front of the grinder belt. So I will put the file guard on the knife, however I want the angle I want. File guard, the knife will be clamped up here. The file guard will be put in here up against this flat, so I can angle the knife how I want it to go. And when I switch sides, it'll angle on and clamp on the same way. Anyways, you get the picture. And so this will be a rest flat side of my file guide. Be up against this. This will be clamped in. The only part will be in front of the grinder belt is this part forward. I want the height in case the knife it's going to have a heavy angle on it. Shallow angle, but if it's got a pretty steep angle on it. I want it to not be, I mean, I can go a pretty steep angle with that, which I won't ever do a bevel like that. The bevel will be like so. I'm going to get some cleanup work done on this thing. Coat of paint so it doesn't rust. Get the handle. Like I said, I'm going to use fuel line or some kind of rubber line. Doesn't matter. You could even wrap it up with duct tape or electrical tape. I wouldn't do that because when it gets warm, the duct tape glue will get out and get you all sticky. But that's what I'm going to do. Another thing I'm going to do, so it slides easily on my grinder table or deck, whatever you want to call it. This kind of rough. I mean, my table ain't just rough. So I took a cutting board and added it. This is my old one. This is my magnetic one. And that just glides nice and smooth. You don't have this thing happening, but you will have the steel. Even on a smoother surface, steel just never works out real good. I just bought a cheap cutting board. Use the same glue I use for my knife handles, put a couple screws in it, and it just glides right back and forth. Really makes the bevels come out just nice and sweet. Very sharp, even bevel lines. Anyways, I hope you like this project, and if you use it, you know, I know a lot of guys are out there saying, oh, freehand's the only way to go. I don't like getting up on that belt like this. I like keeping my fingers. Don't know about what they're using for belts, but the belt I have, I can cut those bevels in, both sides of this 3/16 knife. I can cut those bevels in less than 10 minutes, both sides. It takes the metal off quick. I can imagine what it'd do to skin. That's why I like having my hands back here, out of the way of the belt. So, I hope you like this project. Thanks for watching. God bless.